First, you need 5 pieces of brass numbered 1 through 5 and measure its fired water capacity. Then you take those 5 pieces of brass, and here I have them on my mat, numbered 1 through 5. These are my dedicated pieces of brass. I don't use them for anything other than measuring PCD. Make sure the brass is dry, 100% dry, and I'll take the first piece, I'll put it on the scale, then I zero out my scale. Scale's very sensitive, okay? So now I'm going to open up the bottle of, in this case, 8208 XBR. Fresh bottle, never been opened before. And I'm just using a lead funnel and a lead dipper and a 40 or 50-year-old brass powder tray. And it's probably going to take approximately 2 scoops for a 308 sized piece of brass, and you want to trickle the powder into the case so that it settles nicely. Here I'm just speeding up the video, but you don't want to just dump it in. You want to lightly tap it in so it settles nicely, and you want to fill it up so it's higher than the top of the mouth of the case, because once it's full, it's over full, then what I'm going to do is lift up the funnel, let the excess powder trickle down the side of the brass. Then I'll use the bottom of the funnel to kind of tap and level out the top of the powder pile that's in the case. So it's fairly level. You don't have to get it perfectly level, but as best as you can. And then knock off any extra pieces of powder that's on the side of the brass. Then go ahead and reweigh it. Then I'll go ahead and jot down the settled weight. You can see as I move my hand past it, the scale is very sensitive, so you have to shut off your air conditioner or anything that's causing air movement around you. Then you just dump it in the tray. Make sure you get all the powder out of it. And then for the next 4 pieces of brass, I don't need the leaf scooper. Make sure you zero it out for each piece of brass. If you forget to zero out the brass and you already filled it up with powder, what you do is you put the brass with the powder on the scale, level that out, make sure you dump all of the powder out, and then put the empty piece back on the scale. It'll show a negative number, but that negative number will be that amount of powder that was in the case at that time. So if you forget to zero the scale, there's a little cheat code there. So I split it up a little bit. You can see there how it's overfill over the case mouth. Then I'll gently raise the funnel, let the excess trickle down, and level off the top of the case with the bottom of the funnel. You can use, some people use a credit card. There's different ways of doing it. Just make sure the powder isn't stuck to the side. The ball powder tends to stick really good to the side. Then you jot down, and you do this for all 5 pieces of brass. Now, in my case, number 3 is always the lowest, number 5 is always the highest, so that's a good sanity check for me. Here's a simple spreadsheet that I use to track my bulk density. So here's the IMR 8208 XBR that I just weighed, and I don't know why that's 3 decimal places, but I'll make that 2. So right here, this is my pieces of brass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are my fired water capacity measurements for those 5 pieces of brass. These are the cells that all these other ones reference. So right here for my IMR 8208, this is a formula for your bulk density. It's your powder in grains divided by the case fired capacity water in grains. You take that and multiply it times 1,000. So as you can see right here in my equation, I have B39, which is this weight right here, my first weight with the powder for brass number 1, and I multiply it by 1,000 just to make this equation work in the spreadsheet. And then I divide it by A31 right here. So what that little dollar sign in a spreadsheet means, it's going to stick in this column. So if I copy and paste elsewhere, it's still going to start right here. So when I go down, see A31, A32, and so on and so forth. So that's how that works. And then I just average them all out on the bottom here. And that's my new bulk density that I'm going to put in GRT. But like I said before, my number 5 piece of brass right here, and my number is always the highest, my number 3 is always the lowest, and 1, 2, and 4 are always somewhere in between, kind of close. But it works out. It's a sanity check. These aren't all the same brands of brass. I chose different brands on purpose just so I would have a variety and a little bit of a sanity check because I knew, one would be high, one would be low. And if it's goofy or it's different, then I may go and reweigh that powder in that piece of brass. But I'll show you real quickly again in GRT how we update the bulk density in that. As with most things in GRT, there's multiple ways to do this. So you can click right here on the propellant database, pull up the database and go in there. You can come up here to load data, select propellant, go in there, or you can just come down here in your profile and just click on the powder right there. What you want to do is go to the GRT database, the default database. I'm looking for the 8208 XBR because this is the one that I just measured. I'm going to right click it on my mouse and say new with copy. So here is a new one. This one's going to be saved in my personal user database. So I'm going to update the date. And then my new bulk density was 980. That's significantly different than this default profile. I'm actually going to rename it to 8208XBR-PCD. So now, whenever I start a new rifle workup and I'm going to do an initial safe load calibration, I'm going to use this profile with the -PCD over the default profile because this is already updated with the PCD with my powder, so it's already one step closer to being more accurate. Okay, I'll just leave the calibration quality where it is. And of course I updated it. So you can put it in here if you want PCD 308 brass or whatever brass you use. Just keep in mind your PCD is going to change depending on what brass you're measuring it with. So if you're using 223 brass, it's going to be different than your 308 brass, which is going to be different than your large Weatherby or Magnum brass because it's going to settle differently in the brass, especially with the long, grains of extruded powder. They don't settle as well, especially in the smaller brass. So you're going to get different PCD levels. So it's up to you if you want to redo it for each individual cartridge. Personally, I just start with a 308. It's the middle of the road for me. If it's way off, I may redo it in a 223 cartridge, but I haven't seen it as being that big of an issue yet. Personally, I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but it just hasn't happened to me yet. So I just use 308 brass. I keep it separate from everything else. Here I'm going to go ahead and create new. I'm going to use it right now. See, XP 8208 XBR PCD, and it's going to force me to save it. Thank you, Gordon. So there it is. There's the little notes that pop up. So whatever you put notes in your new powder profile, the notes are going to pop up whenever you pull it in, which is kind of neat. So there we go. Now I'm going to do a 30-second demonstration on why we're measuring bulk density and updating the PCD. So right now I have the default. I'll just prove it to you. So here's actually here. I'll just go here. Default. This is the default IMR 8208 XBR profile. Okay. Bulk density 920. This is just arbitrary loads of 43.38 grains. Right now it's showing 98% load ratio. Okay. Now watch what happens when I use my updated bulk density right here. XBR-PCD. There's my notes. 91.3, almost a full 7% swing in load ratio. Okay, so keep in mind bulk density only updates your load ratio, and it's going to be based on your case volume. And then based on your seating depth, it's going to reduce your case volume into the effective case volume. Okay, so it's doing all this math in the background to give you your load ratio. So 6.7% is a very big swing in my eyes. Okay, that's huge. So I just want to show you that's why we do bulk density. That's why I measure in the beginning. And then you can also gauge the lot of powder down the road if it's drying out and you have unusually high FPS because maybe the powder is drier and you're using a lot more of it to get the same weight that you used to measure for your ideal load. Go ahead and rerun your PCD. Maybe it's changed. It could be drier. So it's another sanity check for you. another backstop to keep you in the safe realm and to keep your rifle shooting where it should be. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to help other reloaders reload in a safe and responsible manner, please like and subscribe, and I'll be making some more content. Have a good day.